We're back with another quick and simple tutorial for a tumbler that we think could come out really pretty and classy looking if we can achieve it correctly, which I think is totally possible using some Dollar Tree uh, contact paper that I've already cut the size. Tumbler's 9 inches. I cut this 3. It wraps around. I'm gonna have color top with the color bottom. This in the middle. And to flank that, I cut some vinyl silver strips. Nice little texture. It kind of looks like leather or something like that. So step one, I've already sanded this tumbler and spray painted it primer white. Um, I actually did myself a favor when I had it on here just to dry fit it. Made 2 little marks showing the top and bottom over there, top and bottom back there. That should help me line it up a little better once I get it on here. So let me get this on the turner successfully without dropping it. Right about there. Alright, so there is my marking. Actually turn it this way. Start it right there. Alright, so I'm going to hold that part. I'm going to peel back this paper adhesive. Back a little bit. We'll give it a little crease. Actually get it stuck down at the leading edge. Stuck down right there. And then I'm going to pull. You'll see my tab there. I'm going to pull a little bit. Put it down and just kind of smooth it. As you pull like that, let's pull some more, do a little rotate. You can see I pull a little more. Having it on the turner like this makes it really easy too. Spin, we're almost there. As you can see, this stuff goes down really smoothly. They have a variety of patterns. We found like a nice teal kind of scallop pattern, and then we even found a nice wood grain pattern as well too. So a little off on my lining up, but I think I'll fudge it with my vinyl pieces. It's not a seamless pattern, so it's not supposed to meet up, but I could have done just a little better lining it up. But let's put the strips on. Literally, we're gonna put them on right over just to the edge of that, where it ends and the paint begins. Get that started. Let's see here. Look how pretty that is already. Same deal, just going part to line up nice and perfect. That is bueno. And then I'll just go back and kind of smooth along that whole thing again. Well, you see that? You got that little border on there, so we'll do that one up top. Never mind the screechy Chewbacca turner. These are handmade, but they work great. All right, so I'm back around with that seam is. So let's put down, I like this one too, because you can't even see where I overlapped it unless you get like really up on it. Beautiful. Just erase my little pencil mark. I had a pencil here. That'll get covered with glitter anyway. Not too worried about that, but just one of those steps. If you remind yourself to do it, then guess what? You won't forget. So let's see, where does that overlap? That is going to be right there. Smooth that baby along. Another pencil mark. And I try to make that landed pretty darn good. Just go back and smooth it just to be sure that it's all stuck down. Turn it on the turner. I'm gonna hold my finger down, some pressure, just make sure that glue is sticking good. Top. Alright, part one done. Let's see, look at that. So you can see where we're going with it. Next step will be some glitter. Glitter, 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 baby. Let's get a little part two action going on here with some glitter. So we're gonna do red glitter on top and black glitter mix on the bottom. I have some red acrylic paint and I have my Mod Podge in here, my glue. I'm gonna mix those two together. So in essence, I am tinting my Mod Podge. Instead of spray painting my base, I'm just gonna tint the Mod Podge. Why am I using Mod Podge this time? Usually I use epoxy or something else, but a lot of us have that Mod Podge, so there's nothing wrong with it. It's just my thing with Mod Podge, if you're gonna use it, you just should wait a really good amount of time, like probably 24 hours or so before you epoxy it. So after you put your Mod Podge or your glue on or whatever, just so it dries and get that wetness out of there and you don't get mold under your epoxy, you should let this stuff dry really, really, really well. So, all right, tinted Mod Podge. I'm still on the turner. Nice little brush. Spin. I had to say what kind of ratio I did, it was probably like a 1-to-1. And the thing is with Mod Podge too, a lot of times you'll have to do 2 coats, which is totally fine. But just be prepared that, your first coat doing Mod Podge, there's a really good chance that it won't look like perfect. Doing this part on the turner helps. It's hard to keep a steady hand sometimes, but if you don't try, guess what? You won't know if you can keep that steady hand. But a nice square brush is what you definitely want to start with. Let's go back the other way. Come on, go the other way. That way I can just hold it right next to that line as close as I can. A little bit more. Alright. Then we'll put some more on. Go ahead and put some glitter on here in a second. Get that rim a second time. It likes to try to dry up quick too. Alright, it's good for that. Here's our red. We're using red bottoms from Glitter for All here. I'm just going to take the top off. It's going to be much easier to dump this one on there. Take my little brush. Brush away the excess from our little band. It's not going to stick there because we didn't put glue there. So if you don't get too messy with it, you shouldn't have anything sticking there. Excess, I'll get that off in a second. Now with the chunkies too, if you want to, you can put a glove on, but they're sticking up a little bit. So you want to pat these down. You can even do it with your wax paper. Here, let me dump this back in, and I'll show you what I normally do. Trying not to spill none of that pretty red bottoms. wax paper and just gently wrap it and kind of press them down a little bit. If you got too much glue on here, you're going to make a complete mess out of this. So you don't want a lot of glue or resin if you're using resin. So this will knock them all down, flatten onto that glue. That way you use less resin to cover and all that good stuff. Boom, nice and flat. Let's go back again and clean up our line. There we go. Like I said, so first coat, not bad looking. You can see a little bit of gaps in there, but still, you got pretty red glitter. What we'll do is tomorrow, what I'll do, so I'll let this dry for the first coat. I'll take it outside tomorrow, spray seal it. That way this glitter will stay where it is, and I'll come back, I'll do a second coat. And I won't tint the Mod Podge because I don't want to cover the actual glitter that I already have, so I'll just use the regular Mod Podge. Do that second coat, and then it'll fill in looking really pretty. So let's clean that back up. Now let's do I'm gonna pause you for a second, and then I'm gonna rinse this brush out, and then we'll come back and we'll do the black color too. So hold on just a moment. All right, and just like that, we're back. This still isn't dried yet. That was just a quick little intermission. But what we're gonna do is go ahead and glitter the bottom part. I have black acrylic paint and I have Mod Podge, about 1-to-1 mix. And just mix these two up. Looks like this black paint's been sitting around for a while. We do a lot of canvas painting and rock painting and stuff like that too, so gotta keep the acrylics around. All right, nice and mixed up. Paper towel here, I get my excess. Okay, remember, feel free to drop comments, ask your questions or whatever you have going on down there at the bottom. If we don't answer them right away, trust me, we'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Get those little chunks out of there. Let's get the bottom. We're actually crafters that don't mind showing others how to make some pretty stuff and boost your clientele and boost your business too. All right, we'll try this way here. got the line good, so let's go ahead and spread this out even. Now keep in mind, this is all water-based stuff. If you get a little extra on your strip or whatever, just you can wet your finger or not, put a little bit of water, but literally just wipe it off. Hold your finger there and wipe away what you done. I got a little close in some of the areas, but I'm not gonna fret about it. But it's just as simple as putting some water on your finger and wiping away from the area. I mean, even after you get a little glitter on it, if you need, like, oh man, I need to move that, but like, oh, just trust me, just get it warm, get it wet, and it will come off. You see a spot that doesn't look like it's. There it was. All right. Now I'll brush this baby down. That's good. Let me hit the bottom again one more time. That's the thing about Mod Podge. You got to work a little quicker. It'll start drying up on you before you know it. And you're like, why my glitter look like poop? It's because it's just starting to freaking dry up. All right. That wax paper. Now this one doesn't have a name. This is a chunky mix that I made in-house. I took the fine glitter from Glitter for All. I think the medium and the chunky came from Michael or Joann's. Actually, the big chunkier pieces were at Michael's, and the medium pieces of the black were also at Glitter for All. So 2 Glitter for All, the medium fine, and then the chunky was Michael's. I took them, put them in this shaker, mix them up, and we got chunky mix. I need to make some more of that mix. Edge, and we need to stop. Gotta get the bottom too. Sure what that is, but that won't get on the cut. Sorry for my arm in the way. Let me just get it back situated. Look at that right there. She is looking pretty. So again, let's brush away from our vinyl. a little waistband or whatever you want to call it, bando. Any of those chunky pieces, we'll just slide them right on over. A little push there. Smudge right there too. Just clean that up. That's just water. Water real quick. Wipe off the little smudge. And then again. So I'm gonna take the wax paper and just press it flat on the bottom. Wrap the body. With that. Looks like I just need to get right around the rim. Gotta get those pressed down too. And voila, nice and flat. So we'll let this set just like this overnight. Let this Mod Podge, let's get some of my excess glitter away. Let this Mod Podge dry. Let this glitter set where it is. Take it out tomorrow. We'll spray seal it. Let me grab, I'll show you my sealer real quick. Here's the one and only sealer that we use. We seal this. We seal glitters, we seal water slides, everything that we seal, I use this. If you want to keep that glitter in place, spray seal. I'll seal it twice. Like around, a couple little stragglers. But before you spray seal, you go back and double check, because I had acrylic paint in here, so see how that just kind of goes away. Get it off with my silver. Just showing you how easy it is to clean that up. It's all this stuff's water based, so Mod Podge is good, but like I said, just you have to let this stuff dry in between coats, and let this stuff dry definitely before you put epoxy on it. So we'll see you back for the second coats of glitter. Actually, I'll probably bring you back. We'll spray seal. I'll bring you outside and do a spray seal for you. Show you how we do that. So, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next step. As we're back, real quick, we're gonna seal this baby up. So let's check out our work so far. Alright, got the spray seal. Showed you that before the end of the last clip. And my little cut off the bottom of the milk jug. Stick this in here, saves us from getting all the spray paint and stuff on our hands. I've shaken this can up already for like 30 seconds to a minute, so it's all nice and mixed up. And let's get it spray sealed. Remember, Go back, just make sure none of your glitter is above your lines and all that. I checked, I used my little brush. I'm good with everything where it is. There's an ant. Come on, Mr. Ant. There we go. Got him off of there. Alright, so let's get this thing sealed up. I'm about 12 inches or so away from the glitter itself with the spray. Bottom. A little bit more. Alright, good. That's round one. I'm gonna let this dry for probably 15 minutes or so in this nice bright hot sun. Then I'm gonna spray it one more time, and that should keep these glitters right where they are. So we'll be back. Round two, spray seal, rinse and repeat. One more time. Go. 2 good coats of seal. I'm gonna let this dry out here for at least like an hour or two, probably longer, but a couple hours out here in the sun, and this will be ready to take inside, and we'll be back to put some of that good faux resin on it. We're back, and checked it out. Of course, you can see the little splotchy areas in the red. So this has been spray sealed. The black looks good. I don't think I need a second coat on the black. I feel really good coverage on there. There's no white or anything you can see underneath. But the red, I want to do a second coat so you can get rid of all this other stuff. And remember, we're not going to tint it this time, because if you tint it, you're going to cover up the actual color of the initial glitter that you have. So we're just going straight Mod Podge, which is of course going to dry clear once you're done with it. So let's do a second coat of the red. Nothing too crazy. Just get it nice and spread out even. And you want a thin layer. You don't need a whole lot. So you're gonna spread that out as much as you can. Spin it and get the other side. Now we'll rinse and repeat like we did last time. So once this Mod Podge sets and dries for a while, I'm gonna give it several hours, because I'm not pressed for time, and then I'll take it outside, spray seal it again. It's got a little extra Mod Podge. That's the nice thing about the Mod Podge. You can put it back in the container if you feel like you have too much, which that is. Of course, epoxy, you can't do that, because then you'll ruin your whole bottle. So bit on my vinyl. So let me see if I can get it spinning and get as close. Spread that out nice and even. I always like to make sure I get the rim really good too. That's where it gets the thinnest and it likes to dry up quicker, so get that right up there nice and good. And then let's get the baby some glitter. Remember, this is our red bottoms from Glitter for All. Here's that again. That's looking good. Go back in there and get right along that line a little better. It's alright, there's no glue on the pattern, so you'll see I'll just brush that excess right away. This is just ensuring that we get that fine glitter to get down in there. Great coverage up there. Tap off a little bit of my excess. There it is. Brush here. Nice, and hit that line really good. Remember, there's no glue on the line, so as long as you brush right up against it, all that excess you poured on there will come. You can just brush it right away. Alright, so let's put this back in the container. Remember, same deal. Just give it a nice little wrap. Press those glitters down. flat. I'm gonna spin it a little bit and then flatten again. There. Nice little wrap. And boom, all nice and flat. You got some stragglers that stick up a little bit. Just go back, pat them down. And of course, so the black's already sealed. We'll let this dry for a few hours. Let that glue stick to the glitter, and vice versa. The glitter stick to the glue. Let me clean this up one more time. Couple little stragglers there. Push that along back on my edge. Clean up the edge. Get it nice and straight. Alright. Let that set. Then take it outside. Spray seal it again. And then I'll be ready for some resin, y'all. See you back in a little bit. We're back to get some resin on this pretty thing here. So I've got 40 mLs of faux Rizzo resin already mixed up here in my little cup. I'm going to start with the middle, then I'll do the red and the black, hit it with a little heat, and then let this baby spin for about probably about 4 hours, and I can turn it off with this faux Rizzo. Most resins you'll probably want to wait like 6 to 8 possibly. Again, we're 2 coats on the red. I'll get that little flake off of there. Seal it really well, but you know how it is. Some stuff could want to move or shift, but it shouldn't that much. But anything gets into the middle, we'll be able to move to the side. Looking good so far, y'all. Bit more there. Alright, I'm right here, so I think I'm going to go with the black next. Again, flattening these glitters down, those chunkies down with your wax paper. It's a game changer, y'all. Still got to do 2 coats before you can sand or anything over the chunkies, but Better than 3 or 4. I've been there, done that. Those days are gone. Not doing that anymore. Bit more on that part, and then the bottom. Save a good amount for my red. 40 is what I usually put on our 30-ounce glitter cups anyway, chunky or not. Just move those. Any little pieces that are loose, I'm just going to get rid of them on the box down here, just in case they want to float. Resin on the bottom. Try to get the edges. Alright, let's little pieces of black. Let's get those off. Alright, now let's go to the red. If you end up getting any resin on the inside of your cup, don't fret, don't worry about it right now, because what happens is once that stuff cures or hardens after 8-12 hours or so, you'll be able to pop it right out of there with a X-Acto knife. Not the big problem at all. Section. That's looking really classy, y'all. Actually turning out how I hoped it would. Get rid of that little straggler. Let's see what we got going on here. There's one there. No need to waste the resin. I'll go ahead and drip my excess off and onto the cup. Bit left in there. I might as well go ahead and put it on there. The more I can get on there, the more we can close to covering those chunkies. Glove off. This away. And get my Wagner heat gun. Pop some of these little surface bubbles and then let this baby spin. Wagner heat gun. I use it on the high setting. Got it from Home Depot, I think 24 or 29. That. Let's see. Look like I had a little straggle. Let me see if I can get him out of there. There we go. Just put you somewhere up top. Let a little excess drip off. It'll level out good. I'll put another coat, and then after that, it should be ready to rock. So we'll see you guys back here. Actually, let me get you a close up. Hold on. Don't mind the motion sickness. Move that out of the way. She's coming along pretty. First flood coat is on here, and now we are going to do a little cup cleanup. So it's a little rough. We covered pretty good, but it's still a little rough. Around the paper, that's smooth, but of course on the chunkies, it still needs another layer before we can even think about sanding. It's gonna be rough on the edge. Don't worry about it. Don't do anything. Don't try to sand or anything. You'll probably take some of your red off your glitter. So, but look on the inside. You can see all that nice overspray from the freaking primer. Got some glitter in there, whatever. Here's our rim. You can see it's a little chunky. But so literally, this is what I do. I take my finger. It'll get any of the loose glitter out. Right, a little bit came out, not much. So with the overspray, sit that right there. 100% acetone. Walmart or your actually Walmart usually it's sold out. So much easier. Just go to your local beauty supply store and get you some 100% acetone. Just a little small paper towel, fold it into fours. Douse it a couple times, right? Roll back and forth. And I like to go to the other side because obviously you have white or whatever here, so go to the other side just to kind of clean the rest of your residue up. And there you go. Cup cleanup. All the paint. Nice and gone. Alright. So that's step one of cleanup. Step two. There's going to be a little roughness up here around the edge. What I like to do, I got a fresh blade on my little X-Acto knife. I go in just on that edge and just lightly go across the edge up there. Whatever comes off is what it is. I don't go any deeper trying to dig. A fresh blade helps. Essentially what we're doing is getting the resin and paint from just on that lip right there. Have a firm grip on your cup. Always just be careful with these blades, especially with the new one. Even with an old one, you're still gonna want to be really careful because they're super sharp. Get a little closer so you can. It's not taking off much, but that's I'm not looking for much. I'm literally just looking for that part on the edge. So right around in here will be all smooth. All right. So you'll see the little excess. So just literally go around with my hand just to get any of that. So like I said, this feels rough to me. Not gonna sand it yet. What I'm gonna do is put another layer of resin on here, which will get us a little closer to smooth. After that second layer, then I'll go back with my 220 sandpaper, sand this baby down really good, sand the bottom, sand the rim, sand the top, and then that third coat, she's gonna be done. Beautiful, smooth, and glossy. So we'll be back for second coat of resin. First coat was 40 mLs. Now that we got a good coverage so far, next dose of resin is only going to be 25 mLs for this 30-ounce skinny. Okay, y'all? We'll see you back in a little bit. We're all cleaned up on the inside, and we are ready for our second coat of resin on this tumbler here. I've got my resin already mixed up. I'm just gonna go grab a little something to keep it from dripping on the bottom, just in case. Stick that under there. Just mix a little more. I'm just trying to get the sides a little bit more. But it's all clear. A couple little bubbles, but that's alright. We'll pop those when we get them on there. And use the heat gun. I don't use it normally apply my resin with it spinning. I turned it off. Spin. Let's get a little more on there. And again, y'all, we're using Full Rizzle UV Plus resin that we get from one of our glitter dealers at glitterforall.com. Place where we got the red bottoms glitter that you see on the top of the tumbler. is where we also get our resin. So I know there's an area I didn't hit. It must have been right in there. All right. So this last little bit. So we get this one on this nighttime now for me. So um, I'll let it spin overnight. I need to get a timer. I have a timer. I just need to actually get the outlet hooked up to it. That way I can actually turn this thing off in 4 hours when it's, enough set to where it doesn't keep needing to spin. But we'll get around to that. Bottom one more time. Got plenty on there. Get rid of that glove. That. Trust the heat gun again. Perfect. Let's see if I can get the spin back the other way. There we go. Take that off. Yeah, she's looking good. And now that it's nice and spinny, take my little plastic bin and put it to bed. So keep out the bugs, the lint, gnats, whatever. And come back tomorrow, sand that baby and get the finishing touch on it. Let's quick clean up. I'm sorry, not a cleanup video, but a wet sand of this cup here. I'm gonna close my drain, get a little bit of water in here. I wet sand so I don't have to use any respirator or anything like that. So here's our cup. I'm sorry, before I start sanding it. After 2 layers, looks good, feels good, except top's still a little rough, and the bottom's got a little bit on it too. So I feel good after my second layer. I'm gonna go ahead and sand the body and sand the bottom and the top with the wet sand. 220 grit is what I use from Home Depot. So I get my sandpaper wet and just back and forth on my cup. Any of those little like small air bubbles or little pieces of epoxy or whatever that was sticking up, you're gonna end up, all those will be gone. This will be all sanded smooth, but it'll be cloudy because it'll be sanded. But then after we put more resin on there, it's gonna come back nice and glossy. Let's go all the way around the cup. Alright, so now let's get that Let's get that rim, or the bottom edge rather. Getting your bottom edge and your rim smooth all definitely depends on you flattening it down with that wax paper so nothing's sticking up and looking crazy. The bottom's nice and smooth. Let's get that top. Almost finished, and I got a call coming in. So just real quick, I'm almost done. Let's finish getting the top, and we'll rinse it off, dry it off, let it sit for probably 30 minutes or so, and then we'll put some resin on there. So let's rinse this baby off. Yeah, she's nice and smooth now. It's still wet, but you can see here. It's all nice and smooth, and even at the top, it's nice and smooth. And of course, the body is all smooth. It was almost smooth anyway, just a couple little minor imperfections on the body, but the body's smooth. Let me actually, here, I have a towel right here. Let me dry it off real quick. See, you'll see where it's sand and all that, but all that'll come back nice and glossy with our next coat of resin, which I'll see you back here in a little bit. As we're back, we're on the finishing coat of resin for this, what do you want to call it? Split tumbler tutorial, if you want to call it that. So I've already mixed my 20 mLs, cuffs sanded, nice and smooth. And this will be the last coat here. You'll see how that resin brings the shine right back. No need to worry when you do your sanding if it's going to come back and look pretty, because guess what? It is. Remember, be sure to drop any comments or anything down there in the section. If you have any questions or anything, I'll be glad to answer them and help you out in any way. And as always, we appreciate you watching. If you found it useful, give us a little thumbs up. If you think somebody else might find it useful, give us a little share. Why not? A little bit more. Let's get that area right in there. And we got to get some on the bottom. Whatever little bit I can out of there. Done with that. This was a pretty simple, easy, and pretty tumbler to make. They don't have to be difficult, guys and gals. Trust me. It's just glitter, some glue or resin on a cup. We can make it just as simple as it sounds. And I think that's gonna be good. Make sure I get my rim. Alright, glove off. I'm gonna get a little heat on it, and then I'm gonna cover it up with my tub. So always keep that heat during moving. You don't want to keep it in one spot too long and burn your resin or catch it on fire for some strange reason. Obviously, if you have it on way too long. But I've got it on high, and basically I get it to where the resin is almost going to drip off. And then I'm going to rotate it the other way and let that baby spin for about 3 or 4 hours and turn it off. Alright, that's it for that, y'all. Give her a little spin the other way. Perfect. Oh, and there we go. I'll see you on the next one.